Hi all, and happy Saturday, and we are now back for week 6. We are moving right along. It's amazing. And this week it ties in with last week's revelations on love, because one of the things that I found in this journey for myself when I was dealing with love, I was also dealing with maybe feeling a little guilty for spending more time with my art, or in my art, my studio, or wanting to rearrange, like how we talked about, like sort of rearranging the things we used to enjoy doing, and maybe we don't really enjoy doing them anymore, but you kind of still feel like a little beholden to people in your life and stuff. So this topic is realizing that we have given our permission for all that we are experiencing. That was huge for me. And you might be asking, okay, why this topic? But I want to be that voice and that person in your life that reminds you that you have created the space and this time to enjoy your art and to dare to create. That was huge for me, just me giving myself permission, realizing that everything that was in my life, I was giving permission to, and I could give permission to my creative time, right? Even though I had been teaching and been an artist by the time I had my first daughter, but once I became a mother, it was even more difficult, because I felt like, oh, maybe I shouldn't be doing as much, but my heart was in my art, and that was my life. So I realized that when I went through this process of giving myself permission, then I could include my mothering and everything into the relationship with my newborn, to the point that from the time she could sit up, I just made a little space in my studio for her to sit and create. And I remember I was doing a lot of paper making then, and paper pulp can be a bit like Play-Doh or something like that, like clay. And so I just would give her little bowls with paper pulp in it in different colors, and she would just sit there and roll them up. And I showed her how to make beads with them, like sticking, a skewer through them and let them dry. And then she would string them, and we just played. She was about 3 years old, maybe she was walking, maybe 4, something like that. And anyway, we were doing this, and it turns out that she was making these neat little necklacey things, right? With buttons on them. And so there was a contest that came up out of the Netherlands. It's a children's store called Oil Lily. You guys may be familiar with it. Best clothes. Uber expensive, but beautiful clothes, children's clothes. And but it was a contest, and it was called This Is Not What It Is contest. And it was encouraging children to enter into this contest with things that they created. And the whole theme was that you took something that wasn't what it was and you made it something else. So I'm like, oh wow, I could take and put Shin's necklaces in there and her little beads and stuff. And so I did. I put them all together, took pictures and entered them in. And like at 4 years old, she won for the United States. We still have the book where she's in there featured as the artist who won for the US, because every country young artist won. And then she got to go on like a $500 or $600 shopping spree or something like that, and we just had a ball. But it was like that early point of giving myself permission that I can work with this little baby in my studio, and I can give her things to do so that I can still do them. And in the process, I really validated her and her creativity, which has always stuck with her. So that's just an example there. So you gave yourself permission to embark on this 365-day journey. So, like we're here on YouTube, we're doing this 52-week challenge, 365 days, and not knowing what it even looked like. It just sounded like it was going to be some fun. You've hung out with me on other things. And so you said, yeah, I'm just going to start this journey. I don't know what it's going to look like, right? So I found that during my many years of teaching university, working with my 4th year BFA students at the Corcoran and the resident associate artists at the Smithsonian Institution Museum Systems, so many artists on all levels felt a bit guilty for being artists, asked often by peers in some form of, shouldn't you be doing something more important in life? I can't tell you how many times I heard that. To begin we begin to realize that our conditioning through learned behavior causes us to doubt ourselves. The opportunity to sit down and just have fun creating can be interrupted when the little voice of judgment begins to remind us of what we should be doing or how we should be doing a thing, second guessing our decisions. In an attempt to please that voice of self-judgment, we find ourselves in situations that don't nurture or support our dreams, passions, and desires. A feeling of being stuck comes over us, and sometimes even hopelessness. I can speak on this because I've been there. Being stuck can negatively influence our ability to be in a creative flow and enjoy our art, even if we decide to squeeze it in among other responsibilities. And that's, by the example of my daughter, that's what I was doing. I was just squeezing it in with other things I needed to do, you know? So this week, as you journal during your downtime and as you go about your day, become aware of all the areas in life that you have given your permission. Maybe some of these permissions were given years ago and no longer are relevant or serve you. However, they may still be playing a role in the ways that you are structuring your time, your life. So you can just kind of go over, review all the things you've given permission to. And if there's things that you're like, I think I'm gonna revoke my permission here so that I can have my extra time or ability to just have joy, that I can sort of put new permissions in place. So I found when I took myself through this process, I discovered that my mindset regarding self-permissions were unclear and a bit fuzzy. Lots of gray areas, consequently affecting my creative time. However, as I gave myself new permissions, I empowered myself as an artist and creative. These voices of self-doubt in my head began to fade. And I finally turned onto the path of just having fun, no right or wrongs, devoid of judgments. I invite you to give this a try and begin to observe the answers you get, and then release, rearrange, reprioritize your world to support your creative self. Give yourself new permissions to empower your creativity. And this is like a really good one, because a lot of times I hear comments like in, under videos and things like that, or I get emails, and like some people say, I'm not really good at this. I'm not sure how to get started. I'm not sure how to do this technique. It doesn't seem like I'm doing this technique like I see others do it. And that goes back to the voices. But when you just give yourself permission just to create, no expectations, like don't even really care what it looks like. That's why this journaling is so good for this, because this is not about perfect. This is a book that looks like this that we paid $10 for. And so what at the end of the year if most of the pages you look at and say, I don't really like these, but there may be a chunk of them that you really just love, and you know that if you hadn't gone through that birthing process of the pages that you wouldn't have gotten to those good ones, right? And so that is the process of discovery. That is the process of just giving yourself permission to just create. And the only way we know that, or we sense that we're not good at something, is because we're doing what? Yep, we're comparing ourselves. And that's not a part of just loving ourselves and just having a good time and no right or no wrong. So that's the only way you can feel this idea about I'm not doing something right. So that's where, giving yourself new permissions to just have fun and just, get in the watercolors and just, I remember we used to finger paint and just finger paint it up, like give yourself permission to make a mess, and you'll be surprised at what beauty comes out of it. And so that being said, we're going to move to our journal, but I also want to say I just released a course yesterday. Many of you may have, who follow me in Facebook group, Clarity Through Color. I've already started signing up. My patrons, you guys know about it, started signing up. So I want to let you guys know on YouTube here early enough, where it's a course called Hearth Codes, and it's all design. We're going to be fleshing out our symbols, which is a part of the intuitive script. We're fleshing out symbols, but we're fleshing these symbols out against historical, symbols that have been found on artwork and in caves and in Paleolithic, jugs and all these. There's a symbol, there's a language of symbols that really activates us and connects us on a DNA level. And what are your symbols, and how are you telling your visual vocabulary with those symbols? And we're going to be doing that, and we're going to be making a scroll. So it's a 4-week course. We'll meet once a week for about 2.5 hours. We'll be making the scrolls. I'll have plenty of downloaded PDFs with actual historical, cultural information about all these different symbols. And I'm encouraging people to find their symbols, find your language, what symbols are really relating to you, and then use them back in your artwork. And the reason why I love scrolls is because you can hang them on the wall and they become this visual dictionary, and you can keep them in your creative area. And so, and you can add to them too when you get new symbols that you really are enjoying. Go and pull the scroll down and paint some new symbols on them. And it just becomes this place to store your language. So that even when you're in the studio working and creating and you kind of run up against a block, just look at your scroll. Flip the sheets and look at it. Become reignited with your symbols and the language that really speaks to your soul on a soul level, and then get back in. So the link for the blog post that will explain the course is below this video. And then the links, if you decide you want to sign up for it, the links are down there as well. So there are going to be live sessions. We're going to be in Zoom together. And yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. So anyway, just want to let you guys know that. So let's get to our journal. Alrighty. All right. So here we are. Today, what we're going to do is we're going to go back and keep on, like, as you know, we kind of work back and forth in the journal. So I thought I would show you another technique, because I'm big on showing you all techniques, because you need to be able to make your papers, make your, speaking of symbols, like what kind of images and symbols and things do you like to use over and over again? And it's like making paper and making, having jelly prints and things like that, that we can use these elements to collage with. So even our collage papers are ours. We're not going out and getting them from Michael's or something mass produced, but we're using our papers in this process. And also we are just learning how to use different techniques and make different things. So this is what this week's is all about. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to start off with, I'm going to use some of Seth Apter's stamps. I really like a lot of his stamps. So I thought we'd have fun sort of rubber stamping old book pages. I have these dictionary pages. So I'm going to show you how I do them. And then we'll make a number of these. And we can even use some of last week's papers, stamp them up. And then you have, you know, just a folio of things that you can use to work back in your journal. I really like this one too. So let's get started. First, let me show you what we're going to do. I like to just take some, we'll just take some book paper here. Let's grab some, 2 sheets. And then using this Waverly chalk paint, let me get this in the white. Get a few of these going. Okay. So another thing I like to do is take a credit card and spread the paint that way. But we're going, I just kind of cover up some of the text. Now, the reason why I like dictionary pages and stuff like that, or I like also literature books, like maybe some Shakespearean literature or one of those, because, you know, when you do see the random word, you don't have to worry about it being something that's, you know, profane or embarrassing of some sort. Somebody will run across certain words in your art. So I'm kind of just select books that I know are going to be, you know, user-friendly. So we're putting some of this down. With the credit card, it's nice because you're scraping it on there, and it does dry pretty quick. And I like to keep some of the words exposed because, you know, I want it to look like it's been a... And this is a nice old dictionary. I think this was from like 1928, I think is what the date was. So you get all this old brown staining around it, and it is brittle. So that comes with it. So let's get, we have some white. Let's get this Tim Holtz, let's get some ice spruce. This is the distressed paints. So it's a little more, you know, translucent. Although, you know, you can kind of put it on thick too. Had a little bit of white mixed in there, which I like. So just take some of your book pages, and it can be from any book, you know. If you don't have an old one, that's okay. Just, you know, get one off your shelves or from the dollar store that, you know, is a topic or something that you like. But I love working with book pages, so. So I'm going to get this on there. So this is one of the ways I like to let me see. And let's just do a few more. Let's use the hickory smoke. So this gives you an opportunity. So anyone who, I know you guys were buying some of these paints from our work last week. So I always like to show you like different ways to work with the same product, so you don't feel like you've gotten something then you're only going to use it one way or something like that. So you'll find that throughout the year we'll be doing that. I'll show you multiple ways that I work with the same products and just different techniques, you know. Okay, let's see. I like it when it has these word lists like this too. So I like that sort of slight. And let's do this one. So bring this back over here and okay. Okay. So we'll let that dry. Now let's go back to some of our first ones. Get that out the way. I don't need that there. Okay. So let's grab, and I love making stacks of these. And as you guys know, I've showed you before, but I'll take these poly envelopes, and I have them lifted underneath my the video in the description. But I have literally, I just have a sort of a plastic bin over here that just, and I put like all the printables for each month. I'll put them in a sleeve. Like these are the October ones. I think these are, I think June maybe. These are December. And so I keep them like this, and then it makes it easy just to find what I'm looking for. So the same thing, I do the same thing with my paper. So when I make up a lot of these different type of papers, I'm going to use this. I do the same thing. I put them in one of those poly envelopes, and you get like 30 of them or something like that for $12 or something. It's like, I get them off of Amazon, but like it's an incredible deal, I think. So this is Seth Apter's. This one is H1 8088. I'll link these all below the videos, the ones I use. But you can see it's sort of this, he does a lot of things that sort of look old world, or they kind of look like something that could be trying to see which way is the top. Oh, this is figure 1 right there. Okay. That looks sort of like alchemy or stuff like that, and I like those kind of looks. And he does a lot of circles, and I love circles. So his stamps really speak to me. And you guys may know I'm on his creative team, but I've loved Seth's stuff and way before I became a creative team member. So it was just a nice union, that's for sure. So I'm using gathered twigs. Let's put this, let me see, this is figure, let me get this right. So let's go ahead and stamp. So pull your rubber stamps out, whatever you already have. Anything will work. I'm using these distress paints, some stays on, but oh yes, see, I love that. And see that with the text behind it? I just love the text behind things. So I'm just going to grab this one right here. I like these because these are like Asian symbols that he really did a neat kind of graphic interplay with. You guys know how much I love that. So let me see. So we'll just go through and play with some of the colors too, okay? Let's try this fossilized amber. Yeah, so we're just gonna have a little playtime here. Oh, that looks good. I do like this color. So we're just stamping. Get some of this fossilized, this gathered twigs. Then I'll show you how I'm going to work some of these pages into the journal, along with, into some we already have. I like working with old book pages. I feel like it adds to my collaging. Oh, I like that. Some of these I haven't used yet. I've just recently got them. Let's use this one too. Okay. I can see using this whole thing as a whole piece. I like that image. Okay, so these are looking good. I just like how abstract they are too. That really appeals to me, but you guys probably already know that. So yeah, we're just gonna go through and do a few. Since I want some colors, I'm trying to use some of my brighter things I don't necessarily just use directly. Oh, let's see with this worn lipstick, which is this pink. Let's see what it's going to look like over top of this. Let's do these circles. This one is ink spots, 3137 ink spots. Just in case you guys want to know. They'll all be listed below. This one is hieroglyphics, 3211 hieroglyphics. That way you guys, if there's any here that you see that you like, you won't have to like wonder, what was that, Robin? Which one were you using? And you'll see them too. If you just go on his website, you're going to see them pretty clearly. Let's kind of do it like this. I think it's easier for me to see what I'm doing. I wonder what this pink is going to look like over top of this gray. Could be interesting. Since I'm not using the block, I just need to really press down in the middle there. Ooh, well, I like that pink against that gray. That's good stuff. Okay, this is fun. Okay. So let's see. I'll probably do my printables for February came out earlier in the week. And I know a lot of you guys have already grabbed them. Many people just sort of know the routine now. So you guys just, when the beginning of the month, it seems like you just go over and see if it's something you want. But yeah, this month's are paste papers. So I used to make a lot of marble papers, paste papers, especially when I was doing a lot of book arts. And I was designing a lot of books, so I like to use my own marble papers and paste papers and stuff. And I have quite a collection of them. And just some really pretty ones. So I was going through my collection and really got inspired. And I thought, oh, these would be nice to share. And then I also did some of the collaging that I do on my printables with the paste papers. So I think they really came out really pretty. But probably next week, if I don't do something midweek, next week I'll work with the printables. Because I know sometimes people like to see them beforehand, but oh, I like this. This little ink blot in the pink is neat. I also have this this stays on, which is it's not a distress, it's a permanent ink in Cloudy Sky. It's called Cloudy Sky. It's a blue. I don't know. It's time for me to re-ink these. So I don't know how strong it is. It just occurred. Oh yeah, it's not bad. It just occurred to me that this could be a really pretty in this Cloudy Sky, which is like a blue, like almost a typewriter ribbon blue, against this gray. And this pink in this Distress Oxide, as it's drying, it's really fading into this gray. So I really like how the color is being toned down by the old paper and the yeah, that's nice, by the old paper and then the Distress Oxide. That's good. Let's see. Let's get some of the ice spruce, and let's try. I'm gonna go back and try this crushed olive. I remember it being a bit bright when I was working with it in my journal, but you know what? I do have some bright pages in there. So let's see. Let's use some of these. I like these. I used some of these in when we were doing the what am I even thinking? You guys are probably shouting it out for me right now. The embossing. I've used these quite a bit, actually. I really like these little marks. And I think it's cool to do these marks and, you just mix them up with your own marks, which I do that a lot. Oh, love it. I want to add some more right down here. So we're just playing, and we're making some neat papers to work with. Let me keep an eye on the time, so because I know I want to get into the journal and show you guys how I'm going to work with some of these. Yes. I actually like this crushed olive with the muted background of the of that ice spruce and the vintage paper. So you really can change the tonality of colors depending on how you know, work them with other colors. This is one of my faves. I like those little rings. I'm going to do a little bit more of this color too, like maybe on some white, because that one page I had the book open to when we first started, where there's a lot of that kind of bright green. I think I want to maybe use some of this. So that color works nice with that ice spruce. I like that. So let's use some of that color with this white. And let's use, let me see, what do I want? Which pattern do I want to use here? You know what? I'm going to use this because I know I want to use this stamp. So let's try putting this on this white. Let's start there. And then I think I'm going to use, I don't know. Okay. Let's see. And maybe I'll use, oh, you know what? I think I'm going to use some of that black and white. So, oh, love that. So let's also get some good old-fashioned black ink. And do some black and white printing with oh, just love this stamp. With, let's use this one. These are links. And this last one that I was saying I really have, this is one of my favorites. It's called Primitives. So let's see. I like this sort of chain linky thing. So let's just try. You know what I'm going to do? I am going to use some of that black in my favorite little chain link at the bottom of this. And then I'm going to get another white sheet. This pad is very juicy. Perfect. Yes, I like that. So I just want to get a couple of those across the bottom of here in the black and white. And then, and these are designed to kind of be imperfect. So just so you know, they kind of have that imperfection that I like. So it's not like this perfectly printed all the way through kind of thing. Oh, okay, put that there. Let's get one more white one, and let's just use the, move that stuff out the way. Let's go ahead and use do these. Oh, that made a really good print, didn't it? Oh, I like these. Sometimes it's even hard to know which ones you really like until you actually print with them. I think that's become a new favorite. It has that Asian kind of look. It was called Lynx. Yeah, it has a really Asian kind of feel to it to me. Let's kind of just stagger these. Okay. Always just kind of off print onto another sheet like this. Not only does it clean it, but you can coffee stain this and get some more paper that, you know, you can use with the coffee stains. Yes, this is good stuff. Okay. Let me see. That there. Just kind of filling this sheet up. See how this sheet is really getting, it's kind of getting like a really nice old world kind of vibe to it. I like it. And I think the fact that it's on the old paper and then with this paint on it like this, which is what I'm also conscious of when I'm making my papers, because I sort of have this old world, you know, found, you know, at sort of an archaeological site or dig kind of vibe to my art. I try to recreate things that sort of give that same kind of feeling. I'm always going for that. So that one down here. And let's put this one here. And I think I'm just going to real quick go back and get this one. And the other one I want? Yeah, I'll try that one. Because I want to fill this spot in. Kind of want to fill this sheet up is what I'm going for. Put that there. And then let's put something here. Something here, offside. Okay, perfect. Alrighty. So let's get to working in our journals. That gives you an idea of how, just another couple of techniques to use in making papers. Using some of the same stuff we've already been using. And sometimes I know, sometimes, you know, like a technique like this, I'm sure isn't earth-shattering. I'm sure it's not something like, you know, you would never have thought of or you don't already do. But I know if you're anything like me, sometimes I just forget and I don't put certain things in rotation. So I'll forget, oh, I could use my rubber stamps and do this, or I should mix these old paints with that, you know. So that's the kind of the process I go through when I'm working in this journal. It gives me the opportunity to go back and just kind of remember techniques that I could use again, and it allows me to kind of play around and experiment. So this was the one I was thinking about for, yes, look at that. Yes, yes, yes. We are going to figure out how to work this in here because I had these pieces, and then I'm thinking some of this too, like maybe a border. I'm definitely going to use this. So I'm going to start off with that piece. Where is my ruler? So let's just go ahead and pull some of this off. And I really just want to put this page on here. Oh, yeah. I just like this old page. And I'm going to get a little bit more off because I want to keep that whole top. I just need to get a little bit more. Okay. So this is going to go right here. Perfect. Perfect. I love that. And so maybe what I'm going to do, so I might not even use this. This may be a little too strong now. So this goes off, but this I'm feeling, oh, that could be nice. Okay, let's see what else. We have these. I feel like I want a piece of this. I think I like this edge right here. Okay, not quite sure where I stopped. I'll find out when I go back to edit the video. But anyway, I'm so busy having fun, I didn't realize that my camera stopped, but I think it had just stopped. Yeah, so I pulled this piece off. If you missed that, you know, it came off of this sheet here that we were working from. And so now I'm just kind of going back through and looking at what. Okay, so I definitely like, but see how this pink is just really faded nicely into this gray? It really did do a nice distressed thing. So you know what? I'm going to get these down first. Okay, so definitely let's get this one down right away. So I'm going to use my Oohoo glue stick. And I want to get all of this, all of those little bits and pieces. And this is very brittle. So I'm using the Oohoo because it's not going to be quite as hard on the paper as the Giotto. And also this paper, you know, it's already nice and thin. It's this old book paper, so we're good. Let me stand up and get this down. So I really want to be able to see. Yes, yes, yes. Let me get my, I got my drawer covered up here, so it's kind of hard for me to get to. Okay, so that's looking good. So, just getting something there. Okay, so that went down nicely. See how that element with that green just added a nice kind of quirky vibe to this print. We just had that whole area that was open jelly print, but already we've just created something that's interesting. It just has that old world look to it, and working really nicely with that. So this one I'm gonna go ahead and put down also. And I have a tendency to treat my book, my journal kind of as a book spread. Like I'll see the 2 pages open to me. I generally think in terms of them working together. They don't always have to, but you'll find sometimes you'll be kind of motivated to. So I'm going to tear some of this off at the bottom. Yeah, like that. Perfect. To kind of make them sort of work together. Okay. Like that. Now you could also come back and, like for instance, with this one, I can come back and do some overstamping. Let's say we take this one here. Where's that black one? And let's just go ahead and put some ink down. I think I might just do that, so that I'm integrating the print, you know, the paper back into the page here. And so it's just like another subtle way of working the stamps in these different patterns. So, you know, we're kind of overstamping, and so I like working like that too. Which is what's neat about stamps too, you know, like you can make your papers and then you can come back and sort of work them. So now I definitely like this. And you know what, since I seem to be treating this as a page spread, how cool would it be for this to go all the way across, right? So like it's just all kind of speaking together. So let's see. I'm going to put my ruler down here, and I'm going to grab all that, including that little ginkgo. So getting my water pen, I'm going to okay, let me just move this up some. Okay, so I always like doing this water, especially on handmade papers, these Japanese papers, things like that, because they tear so much easier. And because you have these long fibers in them, they also make a feathering. This paper has really long fibers in it, which I like. So see, when you pull them out, you get all these long fibers coming out the paper. And so if you want those fibers, you wet it with, I use a water pen, but you can use a paintbrush that you dip in water. Same difference. And then what happens is you get this really neat edge. So now that will go down like right about there. Oh, I love it. So I'm going to get rid of this little piece. I'm going to get rid of that right now, because that'll go to the edge of the page. And okay, so now I'm going to use the Uhu again, because this is thin paper, so this glue stick is really good as well. Here again, I don't want anything that's too hard on the paper, because this paper is actually really strong paper, because you can see how long those fibers are that pulled out. So this paper is not going to tear easily or anything, but it also doesn't need a super strong ink. I mean, like this Uhu is strong enough for it. Let's put it like that. It's not super thick or hard paper, or like how a fabric or something that the Giotto is really good for. So we're going to get a nice coat down. Okay, and then what I'm going to do, let's go ahead and put this down right about there. Oh, this is going to be nice. So what I can do without worrying about this gully is you can just go ahead and get that locked in first. So take like a credit card, and I'm literally just pushing it right down in here so I have a good crease. And then I'm just going to hold it and sort of feather out this way, and then we're going to feather out this way. Oh, I love this. So see, it'll fold up nicely because it's right down there in the gully, but it's not, you can see it's not crinkling or wrinkling or anything like that. This looks good. And I really like the way I was really trying to figure out what I wanted to do with these pages. And you see I had that down there, but I had the other piece because I was also thinking contrast. But I really like the way this turned out. And so here again, making our papers, using these rubber stamps, and I feel like I want to put like a little rubber stamp element right in there. So let me see. This one, let's get this one right here. And using a little bit of, just using a little bit, just getting a bit of that edge right there, right where this block is missing. Yeah, just kind of putting a little element in there, and it sort of brings this over to that side of the page. So I didn't have stamps over there, but it's no need to put a whole lot, you know, and it was that little space was available, so it sort of brings that over, a little element. And so this is fun, and I like working with stamps as images, as symbols, and I especially like stamps like this that are sort of abstract. Like a lot of Seth stamps are abstract, or they may have words on them. So they're either words or they're abstract kind of images, like this one's Believe. But you have, and I like that because I feel like you can take bits and pieces. It's stamps like this is a little easier to make your own when you want to use them in your work, because they're just sketchy and just little bits and lines and pieces. So it doesn't look like it's a full out, you know, someone's stamp or something like that. So yeah, I'm gonna let this dry, but basically I'll go through the book, and I know I'll be adding some more of these pages to what we have here. So let's see. I think that's pretty good. I think we've gone almost close to an hour now. So hope you guys enjoyed that. We definitely are enjoying this process of going through our journal. And so like as I look at this, when I come back through, like I may come back through at some point and I may put something there. You know, I could see maybe putting another element or something there. I don't know. It may be something on onion skin or something translucent. But, you know, we're at a point where this page has really been fleshed out nicely. And, you know, we've enjoyed the process. So, yeah, I guess that's everything. You know, I'll make sure I have the link below the videos for the blog post so you can find out more about this, the scroll making and the symbols out of intuitive script course that I've designed. I've had a lot of fun making this one. It's gonna be a good course. We're gonna have a lot of fun in there. And let's see, if you are new to the channel, please hit the bell, subscribe and hit the bell so you get your notifications. If you enjoyed the video, please thumb it up. That's always nice. And, you know, have fun in your journals. Remember to look into, you know, permissions, and that everything we're doing, we've given ourselves permissions. Even experiences we think like, you know, we still gave ourselves permission to have them. And the thing about it is when we look at it like that, we can give ourselves permission to revoke it. That's how I always look at it. So it's not like I always get everything right, but at least I know I can fix it. All right. Love you guys so much. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy your journaling time. And I will see you guys again next week. All right. Bye-bye. Take care. Love you guys.